Coming up, Tzu Chi volunteers in Indonesia head to West Jakarta to hold a food distribution for impoverished residents. And in Singapore, volunteers celebrate the chapter's 22nd anniversary by spreading Tzu Chi's missions to more people. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Mary Lee. Thank you for joining us. We begin today's program in Taiwan. In the aftermath of Typhoon杜鵑, Tzu Chi volunteers in New Taipei City mobilized to survey the areas affected by Typhoon Soudelor last month to make sure all was well. In Xindian District, heavy rains brought by Typhoon杜鵑have led to the overflowing of Pingguang Creek, whereas in Pinling District, mud and debris have flooded homes. Then over in central Taiwan, in Taichung City, Tzu Chi volunteers helped clean up the streets near a park over the course of 2 days.
Typhoon杜鵑did not stay in Taiwan for long, but clearing away fallen trees in its aftermath has not been easy. On the streets near a park in Taichung City, familiar figures show up. 73-year-old Cai Yuanqing came to cut down the broken tree branches and was quickly soaked in sweat.
I'm doing my best to clear away the fallen branches on behalf of the borough residents. I did not bring a saw yesterday, so I came to cut down the broken tree branches today.
Tzu Chi volunteers started their cleanup efforts as soon as Typhoon杜鵑left Taiwan. Over the course of 2 days, about 400 volunteers in central Taiwan joined the cleanup effort.
They did a lot and are very kind.
I'm grateful to them for making things easier for us. I have to thank the Tzu Chi brothers and sisters. I'm very grateful for what they did.
As residents got ready for their morning exercises, they could see Tzu Chi volunteers already cleaning up the streets.
We started at 6:30 a.m. and left around 8 a.m. to get ready for work.
Before we started cleaning, there were lots of fallen leaves. It was inconvenient for pedestrians, as they might trip over the broken branches.
Volunteers have once again seized the opportunity to offer their assistance when and where it was needed most. Near Guangxing Road in Xindian District, an excavator was clearing debris from the river when a car risked a crossing. In less than 2 months, this area was struck by Typhoon Soudelor and杜鵑. As Tzu Chi volunteers came to survey the damage, residents could no longer hide their frustration.
The Tzu Chi sisters are old and they worked so hard to help us. We do not want to see them work so hard. If we could get back on our feet, we'd like to reciprocate. But as you can see, we have not recovered.
Government officials also sought help on behalf of residents.
We will clear away the debris on the roads as soon as we can. We hope more people can help clean up the area so the affected residents can return their lives to normal.
In Pinling District, mud and debris have swamped the house on Beiyi Road.
The ground is uneven, so the earth is thicker on the other side. We cannot enter the house from the front door now.
Being struck by disaster on Mid-Autumn Festival, Hua Weisen quickly sought help from Tzu Chi volunteers. Delivering consolation cash and much-needed care, the Tzu Chi volunteers have eased many anxious hearts.
Next, switching our focus to Indonesia, Tzu Chi volunteers headed to West Jakarta to hold an aid distribution for some 800 families in need of assistance. In Tambura's Kerendang, volunteers handed out rice, cooking oil, and instant noodles to their care recipients with the help of government officials and police escorts. Here's more. Tzu Chi volunteers in Indonesia continue their charity mission in West Jakarta as they head to Tambura's Kerendang village to hold a distribution. A week before the actual event, volunteers first handed out supply vouchers. This time, our distribution is aimed at the elderly, widows, and orphans. We have prepared for each recipient 10 kilograms of rice, 1 bottle of cooking oil, and 5 packs of instant noodles. Among the recipients is 59-year-old Marcina, who relies on her son and daughter-in-law who scavenge for a living.
I help at the community's health clinic, doing odd jobs each day to make some money. I'm really grateful that Tzu Chi has given us this assistance.
During the distribution, local police officers and government workers also came to lend a helping hand.
Tzu Chi's distribution is such a positive influence on society. It helps to inspire people's compassion, especially in the local residents. Later in life, these recipients can continue the cycle of love and give back to the less fortunate.
Altogether, the rice and food from Tzu Chi has helped 800 impoverished families in Tambora in their time of need. Our next report is also on aid distributions, but northward from Indonesia, we spotlight the Philippines. Tzu Chi's rice distribution in Leyte province for 110 barangays in Ormoc City continues as they head to a few more areas to hand out rice to the poor and needy. During these rice distributions, volunteers young and old contributed their strength in whichever way they could, while the recipients gave back to show their appreciation by bringing in donations saved in plastic bottles. Here in Ormoc City, Fernando, who is blind, gets to the Tzu Chi distribution site with the help of his daughter. After receiving their aid items, the pair walks back to the small wooden dwelling they call home.
While I'm still alive, I will strive to send my daughter to school, because if a person doesn't finish their studies, they will have a hard life.
Struggling to put his daughter through school, Fernando is very grateful for the help he has received from Tzu Chi, while his daughter Krisha knows well the hardship her father has had to endure to pay for her education.
I am very grateful to my father because despite his condition, he works really hard to send me to school.
Though it may not seem like much to some, for these impoverished residents, a 20-kilogram bag of rice is a hard-to-come-by gift. During the distributions, locals young and old pitched in to help the elderly carry the heavy items home.
I'm happy because the poor also gave within their means. This is the first time that I saw so many recipients give back to Tzu Chi, and I'm glad I was here to help them donate their love.
Even Democrito, a retired preacher, is happy that he can be of service to Tzu Chi.
We must also help from the heart so that the one who receives our help will learn that when they give, it must also come from the heart.
Another volunteer who is glad to make good use of his time while he's in between jobs is Nestor Villarmina.
This is a very special day for me because this is the first time that I had the opportunity to be of help to others.
Following the 2013 Typhoon Haiyan cleanup effort, Tzu Chi volunteers and local residents have formed a strong bond. During the distribution, many recipients brought the change they have saved up to give to Tzu Chi. As the rice distribution continues in more barangays in Ormoc, volunteers hope the love from Taiwan also serves as seeds of love and spreads to more Filipinos. Moving our camera to the United States, in Los Angeles, California, the Tzu Chi Vision Mobile Clinic visits the Downtown Women's Center once every 3 months to carry out a free clinic. During the clinic, homeless women can come get their eye problems checked and even get a pair of free glasses if necessary. We now join the clinic's most recent event.
Once again, the Tzu Chi Vision Mobile Clinic has arrived for a free clinic.
And if it wasn't for Dr. Lin, I wouldn't have good glasses. So she's a very excellent doctor, and I'm so thankful. I came here today to thank her for that. She's on my heart. Thank you. Okay.
Quarterly free clinic held at the Los Angeles Downtown Women's Center gives Dr. Lin Kurata a chance to serve her community.
And then it dawned on me that I don't have to go to Africa to do this type of work. And so I'm just really thrilled that I was able to connect with someone locally, and this is very fulfilling for me.
Offering professional service while showering them with compassion and support has renewed these women's hopes for a better future.
It's been 5 to 6 years I haven't had glasses, so today is a very happy day for me and very blessed to get these glasses because it's really going to help me. I really need these. Thank you so much.
And that I can have glasses that I can see, and with them I hope to get back to work and I hope to get back to my life and that I don't have to strain anymore. So thank you and thank God.
Very happy, yes. Thank you.
We begin the second segment of our program on a congratulatory note as Tzu Chi is celebrating its 22nd anniversary in Singapore. And in honor of the occasion, the island's volunteers took to the streets to canvass for donations and to spread the message of the foundation to more people. Tzu Chi Singapore chapter volunteers hope to ignite people's compassion and to let the public know the good Tzu Chi has been doing. Here's more on our story.
Celebrating 22 years of Tzu Chi in Singapore, volunteers spread out among their communities as they canvass for donations and introduce the tenets of Tzu Chi to passers-by.
We want to ignite people's compassion and let people know the good Tzu Chi does, and give them a chance to join us in doing good deeds.
Altogether, 524 volunteers took to the streets of Singapore. Among them were immigrants looking to give back to their adopted home, and also this taxi driver who got off work early to help out.
Just doing my part. We should do our best to help sow the seeds of goodness in the hearts of residents here.
There's the start of the shopping mall, and there starts the subway. We're only allowed to stand here on this sewer.
Adhering to Singapore's strict rules on public canvassing of funds, this event marks the third time that the volunteers have taken to the streets of Singapore, with the volunteers now a familiar sight.
Tzu Chi volunteers do good work, so if we can donate, then we should.
We Singaporeans have it really good here. We have not had to deal with any natural disasters, so we should do our best to donate to help those that are not as lucky.
Celebrating 22 years of Tzu Chi in Singapore, volunteers continue to work to bring the foundation's message and attention to those that need it most.
After the conclusion of the annual 2015 TEMA convention that took place in Hualien, Taiwan earlier this week, members of the TEMA Nepal chapter visited Massachusetts on September 30th to share their experiences in delivering aid to survivors in the aftermath of the massive April earthquake in Nepal. During the meeting, Massachusetts encouraged the medical volunteers to empathize with those in need and seize every opportunity to help more people on their path to recovery.
Since Nepal was struck by devastating earthquakes back in April, members of the newly established TEMA chapter in Nepal have held free clinics to serve the sick and injured. Many of the TEMA members in Nepal have come to Taiwan to attend the annual 2015 TEMA convention, as well as visit Master Zheng Yan.
One man was sitting there, and some security personnel were digging their house, and he was telling us, "My wife is there, buried. I hope she's still alive. I'm waiting for her." I couldn't stop my tear, and all the three brothers and like.
As these doctors have been helping on the front lines, Master Zheng Yan praised them for reaching out to those in need in a timely fashion.
人伤我痛，人苦我悲。我们的全球的大医王啊，医师们也抱着同样的观念。人伤我痛，伤在别人的身上，痛在我的心里。那种生命共同体的理念，其实呢是出在佛陀的教育，叫做同体大悲。
The Tzu Chi Foundation will also be constructing school buildings in Nepal in the aftermath of the earthquakes.
In the first part, there are two big schools. These both schools are very important in a sense. This school are providing education to The students coming far away from different parts of the country.
At the end of the talk, the Nepalese doctors expressed their gratitude through the performance of a sign language song. Master Zhen Yan then encouraged the doctors to help more people in need upon returning to Nepal by putting this great love into action.
To mark Teachers' Day, which fell on September 28th in Taiwan, we have been bringing you stories on teachers who have made an incredible impact on their students' lives. Next, we turn our camera to Taichung, Taiwan to meet physical education instructor of Dali Municipal High School, Lin Ziyao, who also coached the girls' team of tug of war. Coach Lin once led the team to victory at the World Championships of tug of war. However, as the team struggled to find new recruits, it was dissolved in June of this year. Despite his disappointment, Coach Lin's love and passion for teaching, however, has never wavered.
When one thinks of tug of war in Taiwan, immediately Jingmei Girls High School's tug of war team comes to mind. However, there is another team that was once the pride of Taiwan, the girls' tug of war team of Taichung's Dali Municipal High. This team once represented Taiwan at the Tug of War World Championship, where they won first place.
Students stand a higher chance to gain acceptance into a university based on their performance, so I make sure our team members receive adequate training.
Honing the skills and talents of his team, Lin Ziyao is ensuring that the future is guaranteed.
We had these machines installed to help with their training. We need at least 8 people to form a full team and practice. Eventually, we were down to 7, so we had no choice but to disband.
With team members graduating one by one and the squad struggling to recruit new members, Dali Municipal High's tug of war team was formally dissolved in June of this year.
Those were good times. Now it's in the past. Of course, I'm disappointed when I think about it.
A team whose accomplishments were once the pride and joy of Taiwan no longer exists. It is inevitable that Lin feels somewhat disappointed. However, this has not doused his love and passion for teaching. When faced with students who don't like to study, Lin motivates them with his personal experience.
I didn't like studying when I was young, but I'm making up for it now by studying for a doctorate degree. I continue to live out my dreams. I'm almost 50 and I'm pursuing my PhD.
Lin was also an Olympic athlete when young, previously winning 1 silver and 2 bronze medals for weightlifting at the Asian Olympics. However, few know of his past achievements.
I am so surprised. I had no idea. I only know he's really good at badminton and competed at a national level before.
He isn't like a teacher to us. He is more like a peer and a friend. I wasn't born a great athlete. I got to where I am through perseverance and practice. Even if you are doing something you have never done before, as long as you put your heart into it, you can succeed. If you don't practice, on the other hand, no matter how gifted you are, you will fail.
Although not many people know of his former success, what matters to Lin Ziyao is to focus on the present and inspire confidence in his students so that they may walk towards a brighter future.
To teach these children means the world to me already.
Several of the 21 schools that Tzu Chi Foundation is rebuilding in southern and eastern Taiwan are located in indigenous communities. To help ensure the preservation of the indigenous culture, the foundation has sought out the help of local architects in the design of these new classrooms. Besides giving students a proper learning environment, these new classrooms, when finished, can also serve as emergency shelters and help protect the lives of local residents.
Mudawaya bangsar apa rakbuan hara oraya para.
In Taiwan's Taidong, an indigenous Puyuma man is giving students of建和 Elementary a tour around town to help them understand the culture of his tribe.
These are the totems of the Puyuma tribe. We're doing everything we can to help preserve and pass on our culture, but in today's times, that is no easy task.
Originally a housewife, Xie Yuzhu now teaches the Puyuma language weekly at school. Doing so, she came to realize that 90% of Puyuma students here do not speak their native tongue.
Children here are mostly being raised by their grandparents while their parents go out to work. The grandparents don't speak their native tongue with the children, but learn to speak Mandarin from them instead.
The Jianhe borough is to the southwest of Taidong City. There are 6 indigenous settlements here, with Jianhe being the most populous. Sculptures made from driftwood by elders can be seen everywhere here and have become the settlement's signature. Residents not only worry about the disappearance of their language and culture, but also the threat of mudslides.
When the mudslides came, the south side of the community was hit hard. That's where the residents' farms were, and in an instant, paddies and sugarcane fields were wiped out. Rainwaters accumulated there, and the embankment just burst. Everything just washed down this way, and our farms were flooded.
Back in 1973, rainwaters brought by Typhoon Nora triggered mudslides, nearly wiping out the settlement. Since then, Jianhe Elementary has become an emergency shelter that serves some 1,000 local residents.
We are grateful that Tzu Chi is building 18 new classrooms here. It's like we are also getting a proper emergency shelter. Besides giving our teachers and students a proper place to teach and learn, the new classrooms can also provide proper shelter for the community.
In order to prepare for future disasters, while knowing that currently the Taiwan government is out of funding, the Tzu Chi Foundation decided to take the matter into its own hand by helping schools in southern and eastern Taiwan rebuild their classrooms. Across Hualien, Taidong, Pingtung, and Kaohsiung, a total of 21 schools are being rebuilt by Tzu Chi, which impressed the architect involved with the Taidong portion of the work.
Once and for all, you have taken care of all the unsafe classrooms, so even our own children can attend school safely. That was Master Zeng Yan's #1 directive, safety.
The purpose of soliciting the aid of local architects is to incorporate local culture into the design of these new classrooms.
Of course, we will preserve all the trees on campus, as they are a part of school's history and hold special meaning for our alumni.
With everyone giving a little bit of themselves, Tzu Chi was able to successfully launch Project Hope 2014, and these acts of goodness are bound to deeply impact their respective communities.
As the haze from Indonesia continues to affect neighboring countries, Tzu Chi volunteers from Johor, Malaysia assembled at their local shopping square to pass out surgical masks to the public and also to inform them of the right ways to protect their health from haze-related diseases. That's all the time we have for today as we leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us at DaAi Headlines. See you next time.